Alright guys, this is your boy Lagon Half and Duo back again with another video. Give me 1 second here. Alright, I want to make sure that you can understand me more better. I know sometimes I've listened to some of the videos in the past, and when I use my headset when I'm at work, the mic comes through muffly. So hopefully this is a little bit better. Anyway, like I said, I'm at work, so I want to do this video quick, fast, and hurry. This video, I have nothing against the person doing the video, okay? So, again, guys, we don't gotta be, just, but I want to prove a point, and there's a reason why we have, so, okay, let me reset. There's a reason why we have Nintendo. Hell, there's something I could add to the beginning of this video that proves my point, but this is not the video for that. This should have been this is not a video for that. The video I could have put on was I was talking about why airlines. You've seen those commercials. You go on Facebook and all that stuff. I'm not really that much on there, but hey, Facebook and all that other stuff, right? You on those things, and you see these nostalgia trips where they're like, oh man, back in the day, just like they do with video games, back in the day, game was this. And it's nostalgia. I am not denying that. So they talk about planes. Back in the day, you could have fly like this and have meals like this and smoke and checkerboard, all that stuff. Not knowing that if you add inflation to those tickets, it'll be more costly than it was today, but whatever. The people like to go with nostalgia and think that's what they work on. But the video was explaining how, we went from a certain type of all the airlines in a certain way to what it is now, which basically he said it in there, which I've said from other videos, and I might use that clip for something else in the future, which he said, we went from luxurious space, good food, whatever, to, people fitting in a plane like sardines cans. And you know what caused it? Because the customers. And I was like, oh, that is such a perfect situation to say. That's a perfect thing to say about gaming. We destroy this hobby. I don't, that's my stance, always be gonna be my stance. Unless you prove me differently, which I don't think you do, because I got enough evidence to back me up. Anyway, here's something. People's like, I want Nintendo destroyed. Nintendo's a greedy company. They got this new head of a female head for Washington. I'm gonna tell you right now, unless she does something really stupid I could see, I don't think Japan will let her get away with a lot of shit. And I don't care for now. Again, I'm at a point where I don't care. But Nintendo's this, bad, blah, blah, blah. And the funny enough thing I'll tell you right now is I've been playing more PlayStation than Nintendo for this month. For a reason, but it's not because I ain't got no games to play for my Nintendo Switch 2. Of course not. You see my library. You see my closet. I got games. But I got games on this. I bought PlayStation 5. I need to validate my 2. And I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 and I'm liking it. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me do this, whatever. I'll be honest with anybody out there. This will be a shocker to anybody. Because even Anderson done surpassed me or whatever. I have not beaten Metroid 4. Because I want the big screen for that. So I'm not beating Metroid 4. I have basically, and I'm playing my Final Fantasy 16 through the PlayStation Portal. That's the next thing is this. I will do a video about the PlayStation Portal and the Nintendo Switch 2. And all the consoles together with the price situation, but that too. Why? Because as Thomas Sowell say, a person I highly respect, there's always a trade-off. There's no silver bullet. There's always a trade-off. The Portal, I'm using it. I'm liking it for what it's doing. It's making me go through my gaming library on the PlayStation. But it has some problems which is like, dang, crazy. So, with all that blah, 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 let me get to why I got this video right here for, and then we'll play the video into the once and for and call it a day. The reason I'm using this video is I've done videos like this before, but I'm gonna emphasize it because it needs to be remembered, because a lot of dumbass gamers keep on saying dumb shit, including the PC crowd, get in the comment section and say dumb shit. Like I said, You can't do nothing because you're on a PC. I just showed a video short that I have a PC. I built that PC from scratch, and I'm gonna show you the video too. I built it from scratch, and it can play any PC game, good, whatever. It can. I don't care. I don't want to be sitting down in front of a small screen and doing that. I just ain't. And you already saw the video for that. There's a video I show about the PC versus, that's not my thing. But anyway, I state this emphatically. I have no problem with Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile phones. Those are tools. Those are ways that we use it to get what we want to play. Not against them, right? As a platform, every platform, even down to Nintendo, have practices that people don't like. I can respect that. I truly can. But here's the thing. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, all that stuff, they're needed. They're needed in the gaming industry, but also Nintendo's needed too. And if y'all want to do dumb stuff to say Nintendo needs to go away, then y'all are full of shit. Because y'all don't know nothing about what's going on. And y'all are just basically being greedy people. Selfish people. And this video emphasizes this over, like I said before. Nintendo has something that's needed. It's definitely needed. Nintendo, like I said before in the other video, it's not because of the cheapest console. People always say, oh, the cheapest console, and they got uppity now, and it costs so much more. No, it's not. That's not what Nintendo is. Nintendo is the accessible console. Okay? Don't get me wrong. You guys want to have your vicious games, your violent games, your ultra sexy games, and instead of have a couple of those with Bayonetta and everything, but that you want to have that, go ahead. You want to have the hentai mobile games to do crazy stuff, just to see a little coochie, y'all crazy, but whatever. Anime people, I love anime as much as anybody else, but I'm good. I don't need hentai on my screen just to live a life. Preferably I have a wife, so I ain't got to worry about that. But anyway, what I'm going to say right here, Nintendo is family-friendly fun. Point blank, period. That's what they are. Family-friendly fun. The reason why my mother, well, to be honest, my aunt bought me my first Nintendo NES is because the game was just simple fun and it wasn't crazy. My father bought a Genesis because it was gaming as well too. My aunt once again bought me a 64 because hey, I did good in my grades, whatever. But the thing is, including the 64, I could have brought friends over. I could have been friends over, have fun with them. Okay, and then I could see people who are family friendly oriented who buy these games for their kids. That's where the Wii generation came in, and they brought in a whole generation of old, new, young, whatever. We needed that 2006 generation, generation 6 with the Wii, Xbox, and PlayStation. 'Cause all of them did give us individual stuff from Blu-ray to online gaming with the 360 and the Wii, giving accessibility more. We needed that. In that is the second console war that I respect. The first one, of course, is Sega versus Nintendo and Super Nintendo. In that regard, Super Nintendo and the NES versus Genesis. And those are true console wars. We don't got that no more. We got just crap right now. That's why I have a video talking about console wars is a waste of time. But anyway, what Nintendo is doing is, and people are like, oh man, they hog nostalgia. It's their games, their property. They could do what they want to do. PlayStation could do the exact same thing. They don't. Xbox could do it, and they just shit in the bed. They bought all of Rare games. Went over to Xbox, and what happened? What did they turn out that was gloriously rare, other than the collection set? Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Not a bad game, but it's not what people were looking for when they wanted Banjo-Kazooie. Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark Zero didn't came out maybe because they tried to change the type of the woman, which was stupid. They tried to turn dark and stuff, and then they tried to redo dark again, and then look what happened. It got canceled. They didn't carry over Donkey Kong because that's what made Ray out there as well too. Conker's they didn't do nothing with it. Nintendo is family friendly fun. I've said it before. They create like have me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, by me playing my Nintendo games, what did I do? I shared with my sister who's 12 years younger than me, Katie. And she is playing is a Nintendo person. She had PC. She plays PC games. Final Fantasy 14, she plays that. But Nintendo is what pulled her in. Because I share that with her. So it's a couple of my nephews and stuff like that I have. Nintendo's will pull them in and they have that. The parents ain't got to worry about, what game's going to be on that system because of that. Family friendly fun. When I play those games on this Nintendo console, it's fun. I'm enjoying Final Fantasy 16. Don't get me wrong. And that happens, and this kind of joy happens on Nintendo as well too. This is the same thing with Metroid. It's the same thing. A nice, good story, like the action and everything like that. But to have fun fun, that's what I want. Nintendo. So this guy said let's see, that level unlocked. Said I thought I outgrew my Nintendo, but my kids basically showed me something. And again, is that genuine fun is what Nintendo has provided for over 40 years.
At launch, played Mario Kart World maybe twice, and it went right back on my shelf. The same thing happened with my original Animal Crossing Switch. This is hundreds of dollars, and Nintendo hardware basically are upgraded paperweights. And I thought maybe I've just outgrown Nintendo. Maybe that part of my gaming life is gone and over. But one random day, my daughters picked up that dusty old Switch, and in the weirdest, most unexpected way, they brought Nintendo back to me. See, several years ago, I bought that Animal Crossing Switch, fully convinced I was going to live my best Animal Crossing life like I once did back on the GameCube. I had plans to dive into the game, catch up on all the first big party Nintendo games, and finally become that Switch guy that I kept seeing everybody do being on YouTube. But when I actually had time to game, plans to dive into the game, catch up on all the first big party Nintendo games, and finally become that Switch guy.
Because of YouTube, I'm not a Switch guy. I'm a Nintendo person. That's what we call it. That is why we call ourselves Duo Nintendo. I'm not beholden to Nintendo. I call out Nintendo's faults. Apologize, I'm eating right now. Sorry. I've called out their faults, but compared to everybody else, again, Kanoshi Bamanito, he knows it. He said it on my podcast before. And people are like, Nintendo's greedy compared to what other company? Microsoft and Sony ain't the same way. Steam ain't the same way. Mobile, same thing.
That I kept seeing everybody do being on YouTube. But when I actually had time to game, I'd sit at my PC, play some matches of Hunt Showdown or whatever, roguelikes or whatever my friends were playing, and then I'd crash, go to bed, wake up, and repeat. And meanwhile, my Switch just sat there on the shelf, quietly judging me. And then the Switch 2 launched. And logically, I should have said, I barely played the first one. You do not need another Switch. But FOMO, again, the fear of missing out, it's a powerful thing. And
thank God I don't have that. Whoo! But a lot of you people do have that.
Everyone was hyped. I caved. Bought the Switch 2 at launch, fired up Mario Kart World, played it, like I said, a couple sessions. And yep, back on the shelf, just sitting there next to that Animal Crossing Switch. And at this point in my house, This was basically decor. It wasn't being utilized at all. And what's funny is, as a kid, I was a Nintendo kid. My earliest gaming memories are sitting next to my older brother while playing Super Nintendo games, from Super Mario Bros., Duck
Got
Hunt,
you.
all the good stuff. Then one Christmas, my family got a N64 for me and my brother to share. That console defined my childhood, playing Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, Smash Bros., Mario Party, more and more titles. The sleepovers, sibling rivalries, the friendships broken over stolen stars in Mario Party. These were formative years for me as a gamer. And then I eventually graduated to the GameCube, which quietly became one of the most important consoles in my life. From playing Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, and my all-time GOAT, Resident Evil 4. And if I had to pick a golden age of Nintendo for me, actually personally, it's the GameCube era, easily hands down.
Okay.
I still wish I had all those games with me today, but I
Yeah,
unfortunately
of course,
don't.
you just sold them all.
But like a lot of us, I shifted eventually to where and what my friends were playing. So eventually I got into the PlayStation ecosystem with the PS2. Eventually the Xbox ecosystem with the OG Xbox. And then the 360 whenever high-speed internet finally came into my household. But suddenly it was all about prestiging in Call of Duty 4. The chaos of GTA 4 Online, late night lobbies with the boys playing Halo 3.
And nothing against that. You want to be with your friends and do that stuff. I am going to say I'm outlining that. I had friends. Don't get me wrong, because we played the hell out of 64. But when the GameCube came out, I came to America. I left my neighborhood and came to America to go to college. Played games, had fun, but it wasn't the same. All right? So I went back to being a solo player. So while just truly, my friends went and bought Xbox, PlayStation, Xbox 360, PlayStation, all that, and I was like, hey, I'm good with my GameCube. I'm good with that. And my Wii, you want a Wii? Yeah, I got a Wii. Oh, day one got a Wii. That's the only console I ever stand in line for was a Wii, and played and I enjoyed it and whatever. But I was a solo player.
Halo ODSD, or maybe going into the latest Gears of War. So during this time, I completely skipped out on the Wii, the Wii U, and any other Nintendo handheld devices. I was an Xbox primarily gamer at this point. And in my head, I told myself I've outgrown Nintendo. That's for the kids. I'm into real gaming now and stuff for the big kids, for the adults. So when the Switch, eventually and later the Switch 2, ended up collecting dust for me, well, those thoughts were being reinforced. The kind of thought in my head was, you see, I don't need Nintendo anymore. Or so I thought. Something changed though. Again, my oldest two daughters, they're 5 and 3 right now, they started getting interested in gaming. And it started super small. While I was playing Plants vs. Zombies on my phone, they just sat over my shoulder, tapping, laughing, not really gaming in the hardcore sense, but showing interest.
Yeah.
And then one day, they found my Switch sitting in my office on the shelf. I booted up for them Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and I didn't think much of it. At first, it was just they play part of a level and fail and fail and fail, not knowing how to play the games. I tried to give them general advice, and they play, toss the console on the couch, and move on. But over several days and weeks, it started to click. They kept coming back, trying again, learning when to jump, when to run, what the enemies do. And I found myself getting invested as well.
Exactly.
And here's the wild part. I barely touched Wonder when it first came out, when I first bought it. But watching them play it, that pulled me in more than playing the game myself ever did. I watched them fail the same level over and over again. I saw their frustration building on their faces with the little yells they'd have where they'd, no, I fell again, Daddy. How do I do this? And then that moment when they finally cleared a level, they grab the flag at the top and they move on past the level, the glow on their faces, the screaming of the unfiltered joy and the pure smiles, that hits me harder than any achievement pop-up I've ever unlocked in my life. And that's when it started to click for me. This is what Nintendo has always been about.
Thank you.
It's not just about the games, it's about the magic around those games. And now I find myself...
The experience, the fun, the accessibility to fun games, the genuine smile on your faces, that's what it is. Not the corporation Nintendo, the people who develop the game, from Shigeru Miyamoto to Gunpei Yokoi to Sakurai to all the people, that's what they want. Iwata, rest in peace, Gunpei Yokoi, rest in peace as well too. They wanted you to have genuine fun with their game. It was an art form for them, and it still is to this day. Y'all think oh Nintendo's lost, it gone, whatever. Art is good. Look at Platinum Games, where Platinum Games split up to be Clover Studios and Platinum Games. Art is good. Hideki's art. He makes fun games, enjoyable games. I love Hideki's game. But let's be 1,000% straight right here. We all know Platinum Games don't sell the crazy numbers like it should. They're the most loved games, the most beloved games, the most call it silent sleepers, silent sleeper games, the games that you're like, oh wow, and they come out, but they don't sell because the games are great, but the business is not there, and they don't make money as much money as they should make. I mean, they make money, but not enough to make it should make. Bayonetta 3 was written by Hideki because he wanted to end the franchise in a more stupid way. I think I would say, I'm sorry, but it is a stupid way the way he ended it that way, to try to make Viola, like nobody wants Viola. Nobody wanted Viola, whatever the daughter name is. Nobody wanted her. Bayonetta was her own uniqueness, and trying to make her, because she was basically kind of like a Dante, a female Dante per se, and it just didn't click to me. But whatever. I digress. But Platinum said go ahead with Clovers, and Clovers right now they're independent, but they're gonna need other studios. They're gonna need like Sony, Nintendo, whatever to make their money, because Platinum, as Platinum is, they needed money. That's just business. That's just what it is. It sucks, but to make the games, you need the money. To make to make your ideas pop on the screen, you need money. Basic truth as it could be, basic truth. So that's why when I play these games, I enjoy for what it is, good, bad, indifferent. If it's, and like I said, I don't buy really bad games. Like I said, I have a couple games that I bought that I regretted, but it's like less than 5%. I'm talking about all consoles, not only just Nintendo consoles, but yeah. But this is what it is, just genuine fun and enjoyment. Remember, they got people out there who want to relax. They want people who want like the Final Fantasy, to escape from the world and just put yourself into a good story or good action game. Nothing against that. There's some people out there who just like, you know what? I work all day, I work all week. I ain't have to live with the fun. Let me get in a little enjoyment and play some games of fun. From being grotesque as to be Mortal Kombat ripping off people's head, to just, hey, I'm cooking mom, I'm cooking food and moving it around. Nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of games. You can enjoy it. But again, we can't do it without the money. And the thing about it, the way that I've said before, we're destroying this hobby is because you gamers spoke to take your money out of your wallet and your credit cards and debit cards, and told the gaming company, we'll buy broken games, we'll buy half games that's not complete, we'll buy crazy DLC. Like I said, I am not for Nintendo what they did with Pokemon ZA, of having the Nintendo mostly is a Pokemon company. Right now, the Pokemon company is not my friend. Like I'm not gonna, I can't back them up, because Violet and whatever it was, the one Violet, whatever, that Pokemon game was trash. Should have never happened. And ZA that they did with the whole that stuff never happened. Don't get Bonanza. I played the game, but the DLC came out couple months later. Did I buy the DLC? No, I didn't see it's worth it. I mean, right now you got Bella Park, Mario Brothers 2. I'm looking at it. It might be for some people. For right now, for what I see, and I might wait a little longer, but for what I see off initially, I don't see something that's worth it. So I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it alone. Mario Wonder is a very fun game, and I'm sticking to that. I don't need to have that. Bowser's Kingdom, 3D Mario 3D Land, and Bowser's Kingdom, big difference. That's what I would buy. And just to get into the more crazy part, yes, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, if people don't like that, I'll buy that. Why? Because I get a cartridge version of a game with better resolution, better frame rates, whatever. The best way to play that game is still and will be Wii and Wii U. No ifs, ands about that. But in case my disc ever gets scratched up or whatever, or got disrupt, which I never seen any of my games get disrupt, but I wanted a backup, so that's my backup. I spend the money on that. Gaming is all about enjoyment and fun, and we're literally throwing that away. Now with competitive gaming and all this stuff like that, that's one of the reasons I don't stand up for the Smash Bros. Community or the Splatoon community or whatever like that, because and oh, Nintendo's doing. I don't care, because have competition, make your money, but you ain't gonna get me to stand up there and do whatever. Okay, fun was fun, and we destroyed the fun of it. But this is where Nintendo magic happens. This right here.
Sitting next to my girls as they slowly learn gaming mechanics, like most of us now take for granted. They're battling through Super Mario Bros. Wonder, experimenting now in Mario Kart World, sometimes racing, sometimes just free roaming and crashing into everything, because apparently that's hilarious for them. And it's an added bonus now that my non-gamer wife will hop onto these games with the girls and me as we play in co-op, and we're suddenly
Non-gamer wife.
no longer mom and dad. We're now player 2 or 3 or 4. And we're crying, laughing out loud because of Elephant Peach is piggybacking on the back of Yoshi and Wonder. And for some reason, that's the most hilarious thing any of us have ever seen. And I realized something through all this, that maybe the Switch isn't really for me the way it used to be. Maybe I'm not going to be able to grind out hundreds of hours in Nintendo games on Zelda or sweat through the latest Metroid title like I used to back in the day. I don't need it to be my solo console anymore. Now it's the console I use to watch my kids, my children, discover worlds that are meant everything to me as a kid growing up, but through the first time now through their eyes. I get to be there for their first Mario victory defeating Bowser, their first I did it screams, their first controller throwing frustration, which by the way stops my heart every single time whenever they get that frustration, but it's both hilarious and terrifying. And honestly, this is a version of Nintendo I never knew I wanted or even needed. So yeah, I used to think I'd outgrown Nintendo, but then I realized it wasn't that I outgrew it, it's that Nintendo grew into a different role in my life. As a kid, Nintendo was my escape. As a teen, it was my obsession. And as an adult, it was just a piece of plastic that I paid a ton of money for, now gathering dust. And now as a dad, it's become the bridge between my childhood and my kids' childhood. Sharing gaming with my girls is everything I didn't know I was missing. Every co-op session, every one more level, Dad, every giggle fit over something completely ridiculous. I cherish every single moment. And honestly, I cannot wait to see what more other memories we're going to build together on this little console I once wrote off. So that's my story as a gamer dad. Again, if you're a gamer dad who's got a dusty Switch sitting on the shelf somewhere, maybe it's not just done yet. Maybe it's waiting for its second life the same way it was for me. So if you've got a similar story, drop it in the comments. I'd love to read it and converse with all of you dads down there. And if you're new here, again, I'm a gamer dad talking about games.
I'm not a gamer dad, but I still find enjoyment in that. I do when my nieces and nephews still comes over to the house. They're playing Mario Kart and they're having fun. All right. When I bought my nephew a Bluey game for his Switch that his mom has, he's ecstatic and he's enjoying it and having fun. And that's all it is. When I bought this last year when I bought my my cousin-in-law, well, I don't know how you call that, whatever, nephew-in-law, whatever, but my wife's nephew, I bought him Donkey Kong Bonanza, and he was ecstatic. He was a PlayStation person all the way, and then he was a Nintendo person. He went to PlayStation, and he got into Fortnite and just all it is. And I said, I literally said to his mom, I'm not buying no skins. I'm not giving him no money to buy no dang skins. Are you crazy? Yeah, hell, you could buy a game, buy something, but skins? The hell, I would never do that. I gave him a Roblox gift card, which is this almost thing, but I gave it that because he asked for it. I was like, all right, here you go. But this is the last time I'm doing that because of whatever. But I said, I'm not doing that, whatever. And then he came over, played my Switch too, played Donkey Kong, and it's like, oh, this is a fun game. And I bought that for Christmas, and he's enjoying the shit out of it. So there you go. That's all it is. Nintendo has its place. I'm not saying it got to be the top of the top. I'm not saying that we need to get rid of Nintendo because again, if we get rid of Nintendo out of this system, because there's another video of a guy who said PC is the future. PC is everything. I'm like, and I got nothing against him. I'll point out the video. Okay, he makes some good valid points in other videos, but he's doing this because he's a PC is the future. If PC is the future, then I don't want no part of it. I'm telling you right now, I'm out. I'm out. I'm just not. I don't feel like PC is my thing. I'm just saying that. Not to be an asshole, not whatever. I love PC. I love tinkering. I love that stuff. But I just don't want. Just like with cars. Until I die, I'm 40. Until I die, if I could avoid it, I'm not buying me an electric car. One, two, and I'm gonna try to buy the least computer initiated car as I can. If I like, just give me a timing belt, timing chain. You set it up, it runs. Blah 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 blah. That's what I want. Because I do not. I mean, I don't want. I hate Windows updates myself. You think I want that in my car when I'm driving and all that other stuff? As you could go and see all the videos of how Tesla, and even though Tesla's a good company with cars, but Tesla, Rivian, all of the cars just up shit. Cause it's a computer. I don't want that. Yes, game console is a computer too. You get me. But my point is, I'm saying is, I like plug and play. Plug in, play, move on. Done. I gotta worry about 50 screens. I gotta worry about, oh, let me get the graphics settings. Even on the PlayStation, when they're like, oh, do you want performance or do you want visual upgrade? I literally put it on the power. Like, don't ask me that question. I don't care. Give me the game. Let me have fun with it. That's all I care about. I like the game. Let me have fun with the game. Don't care about all that graphics or visual thing, whatever. It looks good on PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 5. It looks good, but how does it play? That's what I want. That said, I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect. You simply enjoy games on all consoles, including PC. Peace out.